need to chit chat about Vanderpump Rules because it's already off to a very dramatic yet different. It's like a different vibe this season, which I'm liking. So what is still to come?
There's a lot yet to come. The stuff with Tom Sandoval and Katie, I feel like it gets way, way, way worse before it gets better. Lala, Sheena, Brock, Lala, me. I mean, it's a lot. There's some stuff with James. It just seems like I mean, and I remember, even like Sheena and Charlie there's some stuff there. And it just felt like, in the moment, it was almost like hard to keep up with because I'm like, okay, I know what I have going on, but like also these are my like closest friends, and I'm trying to keep up with what's going on with everyone else, and it's a lot. It's a struggle. So I feel like it's gonna be great to watch.
Basically, what you're saying, there's still a lot of stuff to come.
A lot.
You first mentioned Katie and Tom. Obviously, you're in the middle of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no way you can't be. So how did you navigate that?
It was hard. Honestly, it's hard because, you want to be supportive to both, I want to be supportive to Katie because she's my friend, and I want to be supportive to Tom because he's my partner. And it's hard because sometimes I feel like Katie is right, and sometimes I feel like Tom is right. And so it's tough to try to it is feeling like you're being pulled in different directions, and like a freaking Stretch Armstrong doll. And there are times where I feel like I need to be like check Tom a little, or like try to like hold him accountable for things. But then also sometimes I want to be like, Katie, but maybe like it's time to just kind of like back off of it. It doesn't look like it's working. Like it's trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, and it's just not working. So it's like, it was just, and then being me, which I already have, like, my anxiety is like already fair. Anytime people love to think that I'm like chill and calm on the show, or they'll be like, oh, she's boring. I'm like, literally, I'm freaking out on the inside almost at all times. I internalize. So I'm in the middle of that. I'm like internalizing all of this anxiety about not wanting to say the wrong thing, not wanting to make anyone mad at me, but at the same time, like I really want them to like get along and make it better. And it's a mess. If anyone watches this that knows me, just know, please don't. I fucking hate being put in the middle of stuff. Please don't.
Yeah, after 8 seasons, you're like, you guys should know to not put me in the middle.
Right, like I'm freaking out.
Freaking out here. Okay, well, something that you're not in the middle of, you're directly like, this is straight line to you, is you and Lala.
Yeah.
You are butting heads. We've already seen it like the first couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna continue to do so.
Yeah, it's ups and downs. I mean, even by episode 2 or 3, I mean, obviously they can't fit everything in. I think we had already had like 2 or 3 ups and downs at that point. We started on a down.
Yeah.
That episode 1, we started on a down. And then episode 2, like it was like, even in the episode, I'm like, we're going to have fun, like no matter what, period. Like we're here to have fun. And we did. So we had an up. And then we had another down where we tried to talk about stuff. And she was saying things that I was like, this is crazy town, about like why she was mad at me. I was like, then it was a stalemate. And then we had another up because we were at Rochella. We were having such a good, I just feel like, and that just is the dynamic that continues for so long. And, who knows how much of it you'll see and how much of you won't. But I think it just, like later on in the season, there's definitely like a moment where it's like, I cannot do this anymore.
Right.
But you'll have to watch to see how that pans out.
We'll have to see. Well, she's obviously a new mom this season, has Ocean around. Did that change her at all? Because at first I was going into this going like, she's gonna be more chill. And then that didn't happen, which good for her though, to stick to herself.
Right. Yeah, good for her. I think it's maybe changed her in other ways,
Okay.
I think, but as far as, I mean, how she is with all of us and everything. I think Lala is still very much Lala.
Well, there you go. Now I need to know your opinion on the Schwartz and Sandy's bar name, because we talked to Tom and Tom just last week and they confirmed that that was the name that they were going with.
Yeah.
Are you a fan?
I really just don't care what they name it because I'm going to be there every night regardless. Like they can call it poop sandwich and I'll still go. You know, like it doesn't, to me, what they name it doesn't change the likelihood of me going there and all my friends going there. And it doesn't affect my opinion of it either way. I also, I don't have this like deep seated hatred for it that like other people have. And honestly, at this point, it's been talked about more than anything else, and they shouldn't change it. It should be that. It's been repeated and repeated and repeated by so many people and tweeted and reprinted that at this point, hey, you know, good business strategy. It's stuck in everyone's head, that's for sure.
Now, okay, so looking back at this season and looking back at the past seasons, how did it compare with some of the OG cast not there?
I mean, I think it allowed more breathing room. And I think also having less people on the cast allows for stories to be like you could dive a lot deeper into dynamics and story that's happening. And I think that that's great because that almost harkens back to the early days of the show when there were less people. And I think that it feels fresh. Like I love them and no knock on them whatsoever, but I think it feels great. I love it.